Welcome to Tonia's Kitchen, where taste and nutrition go hand in hand. Here is Tonia King.
My guest today is Madison Gepper, cooking and crafts editor at Highlights. Today we're talking about the brand new Ultimate Science Cookbook for kids. What a cool book, Madison. You guys must have had a lot of fun putting this together.
We totally did. We had some incredible recipe developers and some kid taste testers. It was truly a blast to make.
It's also so cool for a whole science approach because going through it, it looks like kids can really get creative and try to develop projects with food. So give me the scoop on that.
Yeah, so basically we've had a recipe feature in our magazines High Five and Highlights for years now, and it's a fan favorite, so we figured that it only made sense for us to come out with a cookbook, and why not encourage a little bit of curiosity in the kitchen by adding a scientific twist to every recipe. So we've got experiments and fun facts sprinkled throughout, hands-on scientific activities, and every single one of the recipes is open-ended. So we'll show multiple examples, and our hope is that kids will use our ideas as a springboard for their own creativity, and they can customize it to their own tastes or to the supplies that they have on hand.
So with some of the taste testers, like with some of the kids maybe having fun with this, were any of them hesitant if there were foods that they weren't excited about, like either an avocado or, a grape? I mean, some kids don't like grapes. Were they still receptive to getting into it?
They were. One of our taste testers, Oliver, his mom captured it better than I ever could. And she gave the example of our banana bites recipe, where basically you're tasting different flavors with a banana. And she said it was a great way to get him to try something new because she could present him with something that was, common, a little bit more approachable to him, maybe peanut butter and honey with a banana. But then she was also able to sneak in maybe some wackier ones that he wouldn't have tried, like mint or cucumber paired with a banana. So it was a great way to really get him to try new foods, but without it feeling like you've spent all the time and supplies on something that you don't like, because you can easily revert back to something that you do.
Well, that's true. And, a lot of times kids are such picky eaters and they don't like certain veggies. Somebody may not want to sample broccoli, for example.
Totally. And that's why I love that all of our recipes are so open-ended, is that you can truly, if you don't like broccoli, swap it out for a carrot or, scrap the broccoli completely. As adults, we do that all the time. So why not give kids the option to do that too?
Were any of the kids just so curious that they wanted to create things on their own?
Yeah, totally. We get photos from our readers all the time where they take the recipes directions that I never would have thought of before. And it's also really interesting to see what ingredients they do have on hand, or, what recipes excite them, that they really let their imagination run wild and get super creative with it.
Let's talk about some of those recipes. What were some of the things that you created?
So we have a delicious pancake taco recipe that is one of my favorites, and it's a breakfastified taco, pancakes and fruit and whipped cream, and what's not to like. We also have an incredible dinos in space recipe, which is one of my favorites. It's, the classic dino chicken nuggets. We gave them little space helmets made out of cheese, and they're walking on a tortilla moon, and there's little veggie stars all over. So whoever said you can't play with your food clearly never met the Ultimate Science Cookbook.
Well, I'm fascinated by some of the recipes and some of the things that are in this book. That's why I wanted to know more about some of the others. Like, I see you doing peanut butter and pickles. I mean, did the kids really eat that?
We do, and it's funny, it's so interesting to see our taste testers' reaction to those, because it tends to be either a really strong dislike or like, oh, I'm kind of surprised, I really liked that. So this is a great way to get kids to try new things. The wackier the better. I really love when we have a recipe that encourages kids to, step outside of their comfort zones, maybe try Takis with some ice cream or peanut butter and pickles. There's endless possibilities.
My goodness. And now, the book, the Ultimate Science Cookbook for Kids, that's available everywhere?
It is everywhere that books are sold: Barnes & Noble, Target, Amazon, you name it.
And fruit is a big thing. I would think a lot of different fruit recipes. Any other fun ones you want to share?
We do. We have a fruit and veggie car recipe that I love, where basically kids get to learn about wheels and axles. And in this case, the toothpick is your axle, and then the little fruits that you're choosing are obviously your wheels. And we encourage kids to race their cars and then think about, okay, which one was faster and why do we think it was faster? What what might we change about the veggie cart to make it move a little bit easier. So again, we're getting kids, thinking like a scientist, problem solving, all that critical thinking. It's so essential to growing young learners.
Have you found a certain age group was more into this than others?
So our suggested age range is 6 and up, but I would say that we have something for every kid and every skill level in this book. We totally encourage parents and younger siblings and older siblings to join in. We've got super simple recipes like those banana bites that I mentioned earlier. And then we've got, your maybe more complicated ones for your kids who are expert chefs and really want to put their skills to the test. Maybe they want to make ice cream from scratch, or maybe they want to make homemade bread for a grilled cheese. So there's really something for every age.
Who knows? You may be creating the next generation of chefs here. You're getting all these young kids excited about eating, cooking, and enjoying the food as well as a scientific spin. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I hope so. They have so much creativity anytime that we see their photos or they write us letters that, if we can just find a way to unleash their creativity and get them curious about the world around them, then we feel like we've done our job here at Highlights.
We're talking with Madison Gepper, cooking and crafts editor at Highlights, the brand new book, The Ultimate Science Cookbook for Kids. Thank you for your time today. Really fun conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll subscribe to this podcast as we continue to take you around the world of food and wine on Tonia's Kitchen.